from Fairydust Crafts. This is my crafty little corner here in beautiful British Columbia, Canada. Fairydust Crafts podcast is my little corner in the fiber world where I like to talk everything knitting and sometimes a little crochet and sometimes a little quilting or whatever other craft I can come up with. You can find all of my information, everything that I talk about in the show notes just below here. And if you do use Instagram, follow me along on there, as well as Ravelry. I put everything, like all of my notes and like anything that I can think of that's like at least somehow project related for me. I put all of that in my notes in my Ravelry page. You'll find all of that, as I just said, down here in the show notes. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. I love nerding out about yarny, crafty things. So if you do too, give me a thumbs up and hit the little subscribe button so we can share all the crafty nerdiness. Today is probably going to be a pretty short one because A, I haven't really been doing much. B, we've had company, which is why I haven't really done so much. And C, I have a terrible tension headache, so I like apologize about any kind of like weird can't find my words even less than usual, or just like, you know, my like I got a little bit, should have put on some makeup, but it's okay, because we're here to talk fiber and knitting, and I want to show you all of my works in progress. So if you are following along on Ravelry, you may have seen my newest sock work in progress, which is, I'm so excited about this pair of socks here. What? Oh, got a little tangle there. So this is sock number 2 actually, and as you can see, these are the Haunted Mansion socks, and as you can see, I think I'm about 5 or 6 rows away, or rounds rather, away from starting my heel, and there's my little spooky stitch marker. So I got, this is sock 2, and then where's my sock number 1? Sock number 1 is now ready for a heel. So the way I'm doing this is I actually, this is part of my 13 nights of Halloween socks. And the goal initially was to like work on these every night until Halloween. So like the 13 nights previous to Halloween, or days, I guess. And I am a little bit behind, but because I'm fairly quick with like all of my like doing heels and gussets and all of that, I am very confident that I can catch up, and I should be on track probably, hopefully, fingers crossed, by this time tomorrow. Today is Saturday. Halloween is on Tuesday. Yes. So, and I gave myself a bonus day. So like the day before Halloween is kind of like my bonus day, finish all the knitting and also weave in all the ends and wash the socks, and then on Halloween wear the socks. So I basically have 2 bonus days-ish, if that makes sense. But I am behind, and I'm very confident that I can like catch up on what I'm actually doing here. So I did these in 2 different ways. Just like super quick. So my first pair, and you can see here, my one haunted house does not have any windows or doors. And the one under reverse here does have the door and like the windows lit up. So the first pair I knit holding my yarn Continental. So both strands of yarn are on my left hand. I knit Continental, that's how I'm most comfortable with. But I feel like whenever I hold colorwork yarn in both hands, my Continental is always a little tighter because I do have this like very large discrepancy in terms of tension. So my normal regular tension, I'm a fairly tight knitter, like normal to tight, knitting Continental, and then whenever I throw English style, I am much looser. So I thought, let's do a little experiment. So my first sock, I knit Continental only and just picked between the two yarns or between the two colors, and then I am using duplicate stitch to stitch in the little highlights here. I haven't done that for my second house yet. And then my sock number 2, I did throwing only, and oh, there's traffic, sorry, I'm like super distracted. So I only threw my yarn, holding it in my right hand, doing knitting English style. And I do prefer the result of this, to be honest. Like, I find it's much more even, and it's not as tight if I compare it to the other sock. And what I also did is I held for like the lights here, the highlighter orange, I held the yarn triple. So I did a 3-strand color work basically. 2 things. I find doing duplicate stitch on black very hard, and that's just because I can't really see it, and that's the reason why I chose to do 3-strand color work. But I almost regret it a little bit because I didn't do a very good job. And what I did is actually, let me see if I can flip this inside out without losing all my stitches. So you'll see like a million ends in here. That is why, the reason for that is because I literally used a new strand of yarn for every single, not only every single row, but I have 2 houses, right? 1, 2. I actually cut off the yarn for each house. So there's a lot of ends to weave in here, and it looks very messy. I'm not very happy with how messy it looks. And that's just the way, just because of the way I did it, and I like, it's just a little loose. So I am hoping, fingers crossed, that I can fix this up by just properly tightening the stitches when I weave in my ends. So fingers crossed that that's all gonna work out well. When I started my second sock, and like, look at how it's just like so neat. All of the color work here with the black and white is so neat. And then I go back and I look at this one, and it definitely is not. It's kind of like, I almost rushed through the first sock, and I was thinking about pulling the first one back all the way, ripping it all the way back, and re-knitting the first sock. But then I was like, you know what? This was an experiment, and I wanna finish it and wear the socks and just see how they wear too. And then if I feel like, oh, I don't like those 2 differences, I can just knit another pair. So that's kind of like where I'm at right now. I will finish both of these socks. So these are Haunted Mansion socks, and I really love this. I'm very, very happy, very glad that I did, that I started these and that I started my little challenge. If you're interested in that challenge at all, I'm just doing this for myself. And I sat down. I was already a day behind when I started doing this. So my first day basically was just planning everything out and then starting just with the ribbing. So if you're interested in that at all, hit up my project page, my Ravelry project page. You'll find the link down below here. And you can just use my schedule for if you want to do the same socks. Use the schedule for that. Or if you're interested in that at all, maybe leave me a comment, and if you would like to knit along like a pair of socks in kind of like the same style, maybe not so fast. Like I thought maybe if I like what was I thinking? Maybe if I did like I'd break it all down and do like a month-long knit along, that would be so much fun. And then just with any kind of either just a lace pattern, cable pattern, some color work. This was a great challenge, and I feel like I'm very good with lists, and I love doing lists. So now I can just go in and I can kind of like tick off everything that I've done. And I'm actually getting places. So I have really enjoyed doing this. So this is my work in progress right now. I'm just having all of this in my Little Cheshire Cat and Mushrooms bag by Ginger Snap and all of this. So that was my work in progress number 1. And then number 2 is my September socks. That was part of the Yarnable subscription box. It's a hard word. And I finished sock number 1. Oops. All of my markers are still in there because I'm just working on sock number 2 right now. So I got like little stitch markers all the way down here. This is the Yarnable September, I think it's called Mossy Hollows. It's a beautiful, this is like my color. Beautiful, beautiful colorway. It's like a olive green. Love this. And I did a little pop of color here for the ribbing on the very top. And that is actually August's colorway. Grow with me, grow with the flow. Can't remember. Grow with me, I believe. So I started the sock, I don't know, like a couple weeks ago, and just did a little bit of ribbing. And then last Sunday, I did everything but the toe. And I did like other stuff. Like I was pretty busy pretty much all weekend last weekend. And I just like anytime I felt like picking up my phone, I picked up the sock and just knit like, 10 rounds. And it's all just a vanilla sock, heel flap and gusset. So that's kind of like my standard preferred sock. I'm kind of like on a vanilla sock trip right now, and I am loving it. So yeah, I did this in pretty much like a day and a half, couple days. So I finished it on Monday and just did a toe. But this was so much fun. So I'm just knitting on my second sock right now. There's like a little, isn't this cute? This is by K-Zip Knits. I picked up the little stitch marker, I think about a year ago, just before Christmas last year. So I have completed my ribbing and I'm just starting on the leg right now. I just did that this morning. So I did, this is a little bit of a boo-boo if you feel like, oh, but why did you do just a pop of color here and then that's it? It's because I had plans and I thought I was gonna do the pop of color and then heel and toe in that color. And I got about halfway down my heel and I was like, wait a minute, I had plans here. I intended to actually do this in this yarn, but then that never happened. So now I just have a sock with like a different cuff, and why not? I actually kind of dig it. It's really cute. Also, speaking of the heel, I did a little boo-boo there. with like my first row, but this is a hidden reinforced heel flap. So you'll see that it is not actually, I should have put this on. No, I think you can see it. So this is actually, it is a reinforced heel flap, but you can see that it doesn't have any ribbing or anything. It's all just flat. And the way I did that is you do just your regular like knit one, slip one, knit one, slip one. And on your reverse, instead of purling all of them, you purl one, slip one with yarn in front, purl one, slip one with yarn in front, etc. That way you're not getting those little ridges. So sometimes I don't really like that. The little ridges that like reinforced slip stitch heel creates is almost a little clunky looking, at least like in my opinion. So I didn't do that. I just like I call it the invisible reinforced heel flap. I'm sure it has like an actual name, but that's what I did. So I'm very happy with these, and I'm kind of hoping to have them done very, very soon. So now if you're asking yourself, oh, but didn't she say that she wanted to like finish all of those socks that are just like randomly sitting around without a partner? Didn't she say she wanted to finish all of her socks in October? Those plans all went out the window because I started knitting on those Haunted Mansion socks. So that never happened. It will. Maybe my plan or my goal is to finish all of those before the end of the year. There you go. New plans. I'm going to put it on my list and see what happens. But that's all I've been working on this week. I did finish a toque, but it is at work right now, so I can't really show you. But I did that in like a couple days. It's a cable toque, drifting cables. It's a free pattern on Estelle Yarns, and you can find that, including pictures and everything, in my Ravelry. I did get some surprise yarn in the mail. Let me show you that. Happy mail! It is my Mystery Monday yarn subscription, and look at it. Ta-da! Isn't this so beautiful? I hope you can see it. There's like a little bit of a glare, and I have really, really bad lighting in here today. I don't know what's happening. It's like slowly getting a little darker, so I feel like I gotta get the lights going in here. This is, where is my, here it is. This is K-Sip Knits Garibaldi fingering, which is at 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and this is Blue Plume. Remember, I think it was February's sock subscription, like Mystery Monday subscription, and I think that was Painted Plume. So this one is Blue Plume. I absolutely love it. It's like different kinds of blues and teal, and then like a little, it's like a very dark navy or a black. So this would be September, I think. October. It's already October, at the end of October. So I am very, very much behind on my K-Sip Knits Mystery Monday socks. But I'm gonna just line this one up behind all the other ones, and just get to them whenever I get to them. I'm very excited about this though. I like getting colors that are a little different. I usually don't really pick out blues. I'm not much of a blue person per se. Although it's starting to grow on me, but I love the yarn subscriptions for this exact reason, that I like get colors that are out of my comfort zone, and I love them. I'm like an absolutely huge fan. That was it for mail today. There's not really anything else. Which is, I guess it's a good thing. There's like lots of mail coming in lately. as I said earlier, nothing much has happened in the past week. I have barely had any time to sit down and knit. Although if I look at those 2 socks, it doesn't really feel like it, because I do have like, and I have that hat that I finished, so I do have like quite a bit of progress. I have not been working on my cardigan this week, and there's only 1 week left to actually like finish that. So I have 2 sleeves to still finish, and then like my bottom ribbing or the bottom edge that needs to be done. So I gotta really push that, because the November for November knit along is like pretty much done. We only have like a week left, and then that's it. So I think I will be just working on that for the rest of the week, except for those socks. Obviously, I think those Haunted Mansion socks are going to be my focus for tomorrow, Sunday. So today is Saturday, so I will be working on those tonight and then tomorrow. But yeah, nothing much has happened last week. This is a very short one. I do have a little surprise up my sleeve. You'll see that next week. There will be a bonus episode because it's getting colder now and the holidays are approaching very soon. And I know lots of you guys are excited about advent calendars. So am I. I'm a huge sucker for advent calendars, and I have a little surprise for you guys there. So there will be a bonus episode where I talk about everything advent calendars, and what there is out there and what you can do if you want to do like yarny or like knitting / crocheting fiber advent calendar, but you haven't bought one, because they usually sell out so quickly. Like, so many people I know get almost a little upset and get a little FOMO. And then the other thing is price point. They are not cheap to acquire. So I thought I would do a little bonus episode and I'll show you what you can do if you haven't gotten one yet, but you do want one. So there's like a few different options. But other than that, today is a very short episode. Just because I'm feeling a little under the weather, maybe part of it. I do get tension headaches whenever the weather changes, and like my hands are so dry right now. It's like beautiful and sunny outside, but it is definitely cold, and like the cold air is coming in, and I feel like I could feel that my body needs a little time to just adjust to that. And I've just been so busy in the last like couple weeks that I think I just need to like take it slow for a little bit. But yeah, my perfect way of like just slowing down is getting myself a nice cup of tea, some like a warm beverage, a couple cookies, which I have sitting right there, and my knitting, and I'm just gonna sit down for a bit and knit, work on my socks. I have something warm to wear. In the meantime, I hope you tune in for my little bonus episode next week. Otherwise, I will see you here in about a week for my regular podcast. You guys have a wonderful weekend, a beautiful evening, or a nice day, depending on whenever you're watching this. And I will see you guys again next week. Thank you for watching. Bye.